noise down, have I? Is it working yet? Just literally done a little cheeky test as well on the just done a little cheeky test on hopefully it should get up and running. Coming through. I've just done a cheeky test with my motocross guest for tomorrow night, and that was all good. Is anyone coming in? Is anyone coming in yet? Oh, here we go. Evenly looking forward to this one. Hello, Mr. Stead. Here we go. There's a few people coming in. Oh, there's quite a few people coming in. Brilliant. Just checking my screen there. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm going to have to show you guys how to click on the link. Hello, James. Legend, Mr. Stead. Hopefully get him on soon. Hello, James. Not sure who that is, but so basically any of you guys on Facebook that are going to come on, you basically need to go, you come out of this live, and you'll basically click on a link in the post, and that will give your Facebook permission. So I'm just going to accept a couple of memberships into the group, because hopefully they're here for the live. Hopefully. Which I'm trying to actually find in here. Someone's been pressing lots of buttons in there. Has the live come through? There it is. It's come through. So yes, I think that is, I can just see it now. I'm just looking. How's your ears? They're not good, Brian. Well, that's Brian Burford. So basically any of you guys, I think that's Paula, I can just see on my phone. So any of you guys like this, look, I need you to come out of this video, click on the link in the post, and then come back in, and it should give your profile permission to use your profile like Mr. Harrier. Hello, Dewey. Hope you're feeling all right, buddy. Rich Thomas is on YouTube, so I can see his name. This is how it should look with your profile, so I can see who I'm quoting. Otherwise, it just comes through literally like Facebook user, and I won't be able to see who I'm talking to. Evening, Simon. How's it going? We've already got over 50 online already live, so that's beautiful. Thank you very much for coming on. Hope you're going to enjoy speaking to the man, Mr. Shaun Tacey, tonight. Should be good fun. But I'll leave that on there as well, so I can try and see who those people are as well. So I think that was Lee James who said, yo, bro. So there you go, Lee. If you just come out of this live video, click on the link in the post, and it should give your profile permission. It's just a privacy thing. Not sure who that is, but hello. And who that is, hello. Who is that? Who is that? Hi Rory, how's it going? So there's Rory. Look, you can see his profile. Otherwise, I can't see these ones here. So who's that writing that? Let me check. Can't see who that is. So don't forget, guys, any of you guys that haven't registered on the link, just go back out of this video, click on the link, and then it will give your profile permission. It's a privacy thing. So then I can see your picture and who I'm talking to like that. Look. There's another one that's just come on. I can see Penny's evening, so I can see her profile. Evening from Lanzarote. Can't see your profile. Hope you're all good. I'm going to get the man in a minute. Colin Richardson, he's from Dubai. How's it going, Colin? Gonna have to get you on here, buddy. I've spoke to you a couple of times about it. I'd love to get you on. Hopefully you can come on for me. Give us a message, buddy, and hopefully you can come on. My friend Barney, how's it going, Barney? Love this man. I love the selfies as well, but I'm not quite on it like Barney. he's too good at that. Eddie, hope it's going well, buddy. Evening, Gary. Hope you're good. I think Gary needs to be on an interview as well. So there's a few guys that I could get on an interview. Colin Richardson would be good to get on an interview. Gary O'Hare, Gary Stead. I can never forget him. He took out on my left, his front tire. He tattooed my hand. Speedway tattoos, eh? Hi, Eddie. I can see your profile, so you're all good. So you're coming home to the UK Saturday, Barney. Looking out at the weather at the moment in Swindon, that is. I wouldn't bother. Evening, Steve. Hope you're good. Not sure who that is. Who is that? Not sure who that is. Hi, Emma. I can see your profile, so that's all good. So I will just remind a couple of you again. I can see a lot of the people got your profile sorted now. I'm not sure who that is there. The one from Lanzarote. A thumb up there. I just need you guys to just come out of this interview, click on the link in the post, and it should give your Facebook permission to use your profile. So I can see, here's the big dog, Adam Winslet. Hopefully he's recovering well. Poor fella, he's been ill over the last few days, so he's one of my best buddies. So hope you're back on your feet soon, Mr. Winslet, and get down the old Swan in Hungerford. He's going to invite me one day, he said. He knows I'm good for at least a pint of shandy. Yes, 100%. Safe journey back, Barney, and we'll see you in the UK then. Are you coming to the Swindon-Oxford meeting? Is it next week? The rearranged one. So I'm going to be there. I've still got my tickets from the first one that's postponed. Ask Tacey why riders dreaded going in the change rooms with him. I think I know this one, honey. Good to see you Sunday, by the way, at Whiteway Barton. What a cracking job all the guys have done at 33MX. Amazing. Russell, what a ledge. Knew he'd be the right man to go in there and do that because he cares about it. And he's got the passion. And it now looks like a GP venue already. The British Championships will be on their way in the not too distant future. Fingers crossed I'll be doing the British Championship commentary, the motocross for the British Championship. And hopefully it'll be at Whiteway one day. How cool would that be? Which I'm actually going to be doing not this weekend, but the weekend after. First time at Ling, which is like all you Ipswich and Norwich guys up that way. Next round of the British Championship, going to be debuting on the commentary. Hey, Sarah, hope you're good. So I can see Sarah's, not sure who that is, but I can't see you. So hopefully you'll be able to sort that out. Not sure who that is either, so hopefully you can sort that out. Hi, Simon. Ah, Paula, you're on. You've sorted it out, look. Beautiful. So the right-hand man is on. Lady, should I say? Yeah, it was busy, wasn't it? Over 300 riders, was it, on the Sunday? And then did you do the race meeting on the Monday as well? Was it Ringwood Club that was doing that? Not sure who that is, but hopefully they'll register as well. So I'll just ask again before I bring this man in soon. He'll be on soon in a couple of minutes. Any of you guys on the Facebook? I could just see him in the bottom of my screen. You can probably hear me. Hey, here he is. We won't hear you until I bring you in. Oh, he's on the wine as well. I'm on the flipping water. That's all right. I'll act drunk anyway with water, so it's all good. Just get the meds in, innit? Right, so just checking up for the last time with you guys. There's quite a lot of you have done it now. Really looking forward to this. Great work, Lee. Paul Clifton. I like it wet, and yes, I am at Oxford. Thank Gary. So I'll see you there next week, Barney. Me and the missus are coming down to watch the Swindon Challenge match, so I'll see you there. Evening, Anthony, I can see you. So basically, any of you guys that come from Facebook, I know it's annoying, and I know you just click straight on the video, which I would as well. But basically, before you come in here, you have to go onto the post. There's a little link in the post. You click on that, and it gives your Facebook privacy permission to be able to see your profile like Anthony here. Otherwise, it just says this, look, Facebook user, and then I don't know who I'm talking to, and I can't quote to Sean. So let's get into this then. Let's get the video going, and then we'll bring the man in and get cracking and have a great time. Here we go then. Now I can see Sean's drinking. I'm getting the lollies out and everything. Right, let's bring him in then. Hopefully it all works all good. Sean.
Yeah, boy.
Woo!
As Luke Parker would say, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cheers to that with the water. Woo!
Cheers, bud.
How
I don't know how long this is going to be, so I've got 3 bottles of red wine lined up, mate, because it's going to be a long one, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. How are you, my friend?
Very, very well, mate. You?
Not too bad at all. There seems to be quite a few people on here. Don't know. Why is that then?
and you're heading up to our neck of the woods to do commentating at Ling.
Yes, my friend, I am.
Oh, mate, I was so tempted to book into that Vets, but mate, no, too gnarly, mate, too gnarly.
Don't get me too excited.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, it gets proper rough up there, doesn't it, as well, in the old sand?
Well, yeah, but it's not so much that. It's racing with the vets. They're all experts, and they're in their 50s, and I'm only 1 year off being 50, and I've been there, pressurised to race at the max, and now I just want to do it to enjoy it. But, well, yeah, you know.
So you still saying? So you saying there's a chance?
If you're going to be there, big boy, that might be a chance. If there's still room to book in, shall I do it? Shan't I do it?
How cool would that be to get on the microphone on the debut on the British Championship and then call
And if
out
you come up the night before, we could have a barbecue at my caravan.
Ooh, this is getting too good.
And I can cook some mean homemade burgers, big boy.
No way.
And there'll be Henry Weston on the go. What are you doing? Where did you start the interview?
You're going to kill me tonight. I can feel it.
What? What?
Kill me laughing, that is. You're not kill me, kill me.
Oh, all right, okay.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Long time days, big boy, so we've got to live it every day when it comes.
Oh, here you go. Sean Kettlewell, that isn't it? Miss your roast dinners.
Oh, yeah. No, he's good old boy. No, because I post loads on Facebook, and, you know, I'm quite graphic with the Facebook stuff, so they love all my cooking and the missus is cooking and stuff, and I don't hide away from it. I just put it. So yeah. But yeah,
you'll have to give me a number then. We'll have to get on WhatsApp.
Well, if you can get me a reduction on that Ling entry fee, as you're the commentator, I'll come and do the vets and get lapped about 10 times. But I'll come and do it to be like the rider marshal.
I'll get onto my new boss and see what he says.
Yeah, that's a bit of a distance for you to travel, big boy.
Yes, it's a good few hours, that is.
Are you going to come up the night before?
Possibly could be. I don't know when they need me. If they need me Sunday, but obviously it might be a bit too far to travel just Sunday morning.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours odd at least. It's going to be. So.
Yeah, you're Bristol, aren't you?
Swindon. The mighty Robbins. Come on, you remember.
Where are you?
Swindon.
Yeah.
Swindon Robbins.
That's a good 3 hours, so yeah. Be a long day for you if you drive up on the Sunday and go home Sunday night, mate.
But the missus commenting, is that? Oh, there's that Paula there.
Yeah.
That's me.
Hi.
And me dog. And me dog.
Yeah.
And Vinny.
Vinny?
Yeah.
After Vinny Jones, or is it nice?
No. I'm the fifth owner of him because he was so vicious, so couldn't do anything. And he's a coach potato, mate. He's a lovely dog.
We've got a few riders on his. Ben Barker's just popped on. Hi, Ben. Mr. Barker's just come on. Ben Barker.
Yeah, what's he saying?
He said, good old Shaun Tacey.
He's all right, bless him. he's all right. He's good lad. He's good lad. I crashed with him when I finished at King's Lynn. That's when I bust my collarbone in 3 places. And,
yours or his?
mine. And that happened in the first week in August, and I went to hospital the 1st of January, or the first week in January, and that was still broken in 3 places. So that was like, right, bones are taking time to heal now, so got to do something else now, you know.
Oh, you got your sister on. Debbie Tacey's just put evening, bruv.
Yeah. My number one motocross fan, she is, I think.
Love that. She committed to coming to watch the motocross as well.
Oh, she loves. I think she loves the caravan, loves the food, and loves the ambience. And she just watches the motocross for the sake of it. But nah, she's all right, bless her. She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
Simon Lee's just come on and said, I seen you at the Monster Rig at Cardiff last year.
Where?
Saw you at the Monster Rig at Cardiff last year. Was in the GP,
Definitely not. No, I had a lookalike down there. I don't do that traveling anymore. definitely not.
Unless it was Ben he was talking about.
Well, you know.
Maybe he might be talking about Ben. And Simon, you also put, welcome, Sean. Hope you're well, from a Newport Wasps fan.
Oh, bless him. Do you know what? I used to love that Newport Classic they run down there, and Dave Stone, who used to run that, I had so much. He was a lovely bloke, and he put all his time and effort and that into that, and you know, I really had a lot of time for that man, because he really spent a lot of time on that ground, but to be honest, just couldn't make it work, and I don't know why. It was a lovely little setup. It just didn't work, and I really don't know why. I really don't. And my good friend, one of my best friends who I grew up riding with, poor old Lawrence there. That's where he got paralysed at.
I do, yeah. I talk sports to them boys quite a bit. Him and Dewey I speak to.
Yeah, I'll Dewey, love Dewey to bits, and Lawrence and that, and because I grew up, you know, riding with Lawrence at Ipswich, and yeah, that's quite funny, because Ipswich. He's still there, big boy.
Yeah, I've just put a picture up of you guys.
Yeah. That's it. I got asked, but when I was 15 3/4, to come and have a test at Ipswich, and I went off the start line, and me and Lowell clashed in the first bend, and we put each other through the safety fence, but that was enough for Ipswich to sign me, and that picture you put on there, we won everything that year in all 3 championships of whatever. We followed the main team, what was going, and we won everything that year. We won all 3 cups, the whole lot.
Dewey sent me that the other day.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah.
Such nice guys. I'm wishing Dewey all the best as well, because he's recovering at home from his couple of surgeries.
Yeah, bless him.
I've been talking to him on the phone and stuff, so he's feeling a lot better lately, and he definitely was on tonight watching, and I think I can see that Lawrence is on here live as well. I just saw him just a minute ago, so both the boys are on.
If ever you need a fence done, Dewey's the boy to do it, mate.
Yeah, when he's back on it. Oh, Gary O'Hare's just come on and said, hello, Mr. Tacey. Good lad.
And he's a legend. Absolute legend. When I was a kid, the first ever meeting I went to was at Long Eaton. And because we used to do second halves, proper second halves then, when we done like 8 races.
Yeah.
And then I watched that man round Long Eaton. Oh, mate. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He could hold that white line like that, tugged it in like a good one. and he was the only one who could get traction off the inside. And then I went there when I got to main team, and I couldn't catch him for love the money. And the only one I tried to go past was Richard Helson. Oh, you don't try the outside on Richard Helson because he's not letting you past. Good times, mate. Good times. Good times.
I've actually spoke to him as well. He's going to come on as well.
What, Richard Helson?
Hmm.
Lovely bloke. Lovely bloke. Lives about. He lives at Beccles. About about 20 mile away from me. He does up all Volkswagen cars and that, and then turns them into race cars and everything these days. And he's a really, really gentle giant. Hands like shovels, mate. Hands like shovels.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Gary Stead's on as well. He's put nice you're on, Tace. Hope you're well.
Had a lot of time for Steady. I didn't really know him until I rode at Hull with him. Okay. And Hull signed me in 2005, 2004, something like that. Yeah. And me and Gary had real good bonding sessions. We used to stop at the hotel called the Waverley. No, to be honest, mate, I can't remember what it was, but we used to stop there. And Gary, lovely lad. And I hope he laughs at this in the sense that when he's in race mode, he's a Nicky Pedersen because he's so focused on his job and what have you. When he's off track, well, he'll buy you as many beers as you want. But when he's in race mode, he's like, even for his teammate, he's like, whoa, no, well, Gary, whoa, and but. Oh, mate, he was. Well, it breaks me what happened to him and like Lawrence and what have you, because smashing lads, but they know what they're doing the same as the rest of us. And I'll be honest, like Gary said, Lawrence has said, they won't change anything for the world.
Class guys, that's for sure. We've got loads of questions coming in, so I might as well just get straight into it with the fans' questions and leave mine. So Mark Cooper on YouTube, he's put, hi Lee and Shaun, what did Shaun think of Dudley Wood?
Dudley Wood?
Craig. Yeah, Craig Lee.
Yeah, loved it. But the problem is because I only rode it a few times because, that shut fairly early on. And I turned up there one day in the second half and I watched Greg Hancock, Billy, and I was riding for Ipswich at that time. Tony Rickardson, he'd only signed for Ipswich that year. I think that was 93, 94. Yep. And he sat on the start line, flat out, and his clutch cable broke, and the bike just flipped, and without even the tapes going up. And to be honest, I only rode it a couple of times, but loved it. And I'd put that down to like, and I only rode Wimbledon once, but that was a similar sort of shape, a real fast racetrack where you didn't have to shut off. Flat out and just like sail it, and I loved the place, but didn't get a chance to ride it much, to be honest, mate.
It did go, like you said, it was, what was it? I'm trying to think what year that went.
The Black Country track.
Yes, I'm sure someone knows on here what year that went.
I must have gone really early, mate, because I think that must have gone 96, I reckon.
Then they did that sort of stroke crazy thing, didn't they? Where they were
yeah. I think. And I'm gutted. I'm not riding now. and riding the new Bellevue Stadium, because I used to hate Bellevue. Long straights, tight bends like Wolverhampton, and I sit there and watch it on telly now. I'm watching these fast, like Bradford turns where you can just like absolutely nail it and think, hang on it for dear life, and just go. And I'd love to do stuff like that, you know, but
does look fun, doesn't it?
Sorry?
Does look fun.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that.
That's all right, we're after 7.
Right, okay.
A few split words here isn't fine. You obviously didn't see the John Davis one then.
I'll try and catch up with him when I don't.
Yeah, you should watch that sometime. That'll make you laugh.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have a look at that one.
Yeah, you should. He actually did 2 of them as well, and they were both nuts. Chris Simpson here, the T-shirt man. He just put such a long time, Tassels, since we were in the Vauxhall dealership in Coventry, tapping them up for sponsorship, mate. Such good memories of your Coventry days, especially the infamous moments when you scalped Thomas Gollob on the regular basis. Also, chuffed you bumped into someone in one of your T-shirts on a building site. Laugh out loud. God bless you, boy. We had a ball. Chris Simpson.
Yeah, Chris used to help me out with some sponsorship, and he was a good lad. He really, you know, helped me very, very well. And then him and his dad come down to Arena Essex when I was signed there. And that was when Premier League and Elite League were, you know, proper Premier League, proper Elite League. And then you had Conference League. And, Chris helped me out with sponsorship and stuff, and then got these T-shirts done. And when I started working where I've been working at Roy Humphreys, like 3 years ago, I was doing in construction, doing building work and what have you. And one of the lads turned up one day, and Chris went and put these on sale, and he undone his hoodie, and that was Shaun Tacey. And then that night, Yak Brown, you know who Yak Brown is, he sent me a picture of him having a curry, sitting, and he put "Love you, Tace," and he sat there with the Shaun Tacey T-shirt on, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And don't get me wrong, I talked to Jake and what have you, but that was quite surreal to get a picture from him. And that took a little while to work out what his thing was on, you know. And but all the lads, since I've been involved in the motocross, they all, because the first ever motocross meeting I'd done, I didn't have a clue. Scooby-Doo, what the crack was. It was a Wednesday night at Wattersfield, and they said, just do what you think, blah, blah, blah. So I went hell for leather in practice, and I put myself in the top 20 in my group. So the top 20 in the A's and B's went in the A's all night. So I was with Elliot Banks-Brown, Jake Nichols, Lewis Toombs, Southgate, Luke Parker, the whole lot. And I sat there on the start line. I didn't have a Scooby-Doo who these boys were. And I was getting paid off because I was coming like 35th out of 44 sort of thing. But I cut a long story short, I made it into the B group for the final and finished 4th in my first ever meeting that night. And I'll be honest, mate, that was the mega high for me.
Where's that, Sean?
that is right, Lee. That is at Ling, right?
Yeah, it's written in the stars.
Yeah, and that was a bike built for Elliot Banks-Brown. I bought last year. They cost me nearly 10 grand.
No way.
And no. And those boys behind me, they are a good 30 meters behind me. and both of those boys come up behind. Mate, I didn't stay there for about another 200 yards longer, but both those boys come up behind me and they said, "What on earth have you got in that thing? That is a rocket, absolute rocket. Look, the front wheel's off the ground.
Yeah, I see that.
I've still got my hand on the clutch, and the boys are still chasing me.
Yeah."
But I think I come 25th or 30th in that race.
I've heard as well. I liked a whole shot. You like a whole shot, didn't you?
Well, the thing is, the motocross boys, they think you just get on the start line and do the same thing. Right, 3/4 throttle, flat out, drop it and go. It doesn't work like that. With Speedway, a lot of Speedway boys do that, but you have to get there and look at the ground, how it's going, and you think, right, oh, dig your feet and think, oh, that's a little bit slick. Oh, that's tacky. I can give this full gas here, blah, blah, blah. You have to judge it. And, mate, I'll tell you 100% straight. I don't call myself a motocrosser, and I'm no good at it. I can get round, but as a starter, I will big myself up, and I will say, yeah, I can get off the line as quick as anyone else. I can go on the line with the big boys and do it. But then at the first bend, sorry, mate, I'm a lollipop lady, and they'll be screaming at me because being in the way.
Oh, that's classic. Everyone's laughing.
Are they?
Jake, is that Jake Rackham? He's put.
Mate, he's Jake. Jake has been a Mark Lauren fan and friend for a long time, and he's young lad. He's very good at motocross. He started like, you know, a couple of years ago, and his boy is on fire, mate. His boy is one to look out for.
I think he was.
Not only that, they're a lovely fan. There you go. Inside, yeah.
You and Laramski.
That's the one. But we were teammates on that one, so you can't use that one. He's probably waiting for me.
He's about to look to the left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. There's loads of people on here. Wow. Trying to keep up with what they're all saying. Right, I've got Colin Richardson's on here from Dubai as well. He just put, I came to know Shaun when he was at Coventry with Lee. Really committed racer.
Mate, you know whose dad that is, don't you?
Yes.
That.
I know, mate. God, don't start me off.
Mate, Lee was Lee. He was a real good friend. Him and his missus and his brother Craig. My God. Oh, mate. Colin. Well, yeah.
Have a glass of wine.
Yeah. Lee was a lovely lad. That's him on the inside, isn't it? Yeah. And what happened to? And I'm still in touch with these missus, because I idolized both of them, and yeah, that was just one of those things. But he was a cracking lad, and I'll tell you what, mate, Craig, as his dad will say, he worked his backside off for that boy, and they were a good partnership, and yeah, and it's nice to see, because I'm still in touch with his missus, that she's still, even though she's moved on, I see his 3 boys and what have you. She still talks about Lee. That was a freak crash what happened happened. But you know, at the end of the day, you've been there. You don't cross your leg over a motorbike if you don't want to get killed, do you? You know, and that is like, and I only met Colin once, and that was very, very many years ago, and that was at Redden, and I was only about 17, 18, and I thought, who's this guy? And there was these 4 or 5 bikes turned up for Lee Richardson, and he was like only 13, and that was like, that was, yeah, and but yeah, just, well, we'll leave it at that, mate, because they're a lovely family. I don't really know Colin. I only met him the once, and that was so many years ago. But I love Lee, love Craig. Spent a lot of time with them because we done the when I qualified out of the British final, we had the, I don't know what the next one is, overseas or something, down at Poole, and you were allowed to have a practice in the morning and then the meeting in the afternoon and what have you. And yeah, no, and for Lee and what have you, I still stay in touch with his missus and his boys are just, oh mate, they are, there's no DNA needed there. They're all spit image of him. And Lee was a lovely, lovely lad. And the Ochiltrees and you know, Colin thought the world of it. That boy, he was a good lad, good lad.
Yeah, absolute legend. Yeah, so sad, mate. Those are the fans. Obviously loved him, of course.
Yeah.
What a rider as well, by the way.
Well, he was down your neck of the woods for quite a while as well, wasn't he? And then I rode with him at Rena Essex as well. He was at there for a little while.
Yeah, loved him at Swindon.
Yeah,
rider. Yeah, great rider. Sprung me. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to put you like that.
That's all right. That's all right. Jesus Christ, you got me straight away as soon as your voice went. I was like, Jesus.
We thought this was a party, not a crying one.
Oh, Jesus. Shows we're real, mate. Shows we're real. Yeah, sorry. Larry's just put, who tuned Shaun's engines while he was at Coventry?
Well, that started, I was very, very lucky, and I was sponsored by a company after I'd done a year's loan at Coventry. And then a company sponsored me called Mediterranean Media Benefits or something. Yeah. And they got their Alf Busk to build me a bike.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You remember Busky, can't you?
Yeah, he was at Swindon as well back in the 80s.
Yeah, well, he then finished his career with Brian Anderson, doing all his stuff and what have you.
Yeah.
But Busky built me this bike, and he said to me, he said, that won't be the quickest thing you've ever rode in the world. He said, it won't be the slowest. He said, but that'll work everywhere you go.
That's what you want. Yeah.
And my God, was that man right? And the first time I rode it, I think, and I'll be honest with you, Lee, like, you know, when you have scouts like Lorem and Golub or Hancock or someone like that, and you do it, mate, you go home buzzing and it rolls on to the next meeting. And but when the engine needed to be rebuilt, I gave it to another tuner and I said, make sure you do the checks, etc. Mate, worst thing I've ever rode in my life. And then I got in touch with Alf, and he put me in touch with Guy Allett, who's up in Buxton. And Guy Allett turned 100 last year. And he used to do Ivan Major's engines when he was world champion and stuff. And I left Ipswich one day at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I weren't riding till Coventry till the next night. But I drove up to Buxton and think, right, this will be all right. 4 hour up there, get the job done. Boom, boom, boom. And but when Guy was doing the engine, he was like, he said, Shaun, he said, what I'm doing, he said, you can do yourself. He said, I'm no specialist. Talking himself. And I watched what he was doing. And I was like, right. And then, so the next time that engine needed to be rebuilt, I thought, well, I'm going to have a go at this. That was winter time. I thought, well, if I go wrong, I've got time to get it to a tuner. And because the thing is, I had a problem with every time I sent stuff to tuners, I was getting a different engine back every time. I had some good tuners, don't get me wrong. But it was just, I needed, but then the problem was I took on more work myself, and then people started seeing my results and seeing how well I was doing, think, oh, taste my engine. So then I started doing engine tuning for other people, and that was like, what? And I had some Conference League, like, track records here, there at Kings Lynn and what have you, with Chris Mills and people like that. And their dad was like, can we meet you at your workshop at like 9 o'clock? I'm like, what, on a Friday night? Yeah, we need it for Saturday. I'll bring you a sandwich. I'm like, love you guys to bits, but no, forget your sandwich. Like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I was doing it, and then the problem was I was putting so much into that was like, I ain't got time to do my own stuff, you know. And I wouldn't change it. I would never ever change it, because that was like good gravy and all that, and that made a difference from coming down the A1 from like Workington when I signed there. When Graham Dury rung me up about that, Tace, will you come and ride for Workington? I was like, yeah, where's it's just up the road, isn't it? I was like, all right. And then it was like, leave. I was living in Bunwell then, near Norwich, and I had to leave at 8:30 on a Saturday morning to make sure I got there for about 4 o'clock to make a 7 o'clock meeting, and then I'd get home at Bunwell at 4, 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And then that was like, you know, you'd been driving, so you'd have, you know, sling some pizza or chips in the oven and have a couple of beers, and you go to bed at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and then get up at 8, 9 o'clock and go to the workshop and prep the bike. And that was like Sunday night. You were like, mate, you know. Yeah.
What about this letter as well? Did you like the old ice racing? Telford, wasn't it?
I done Telford, and I done Hull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. It was good fun. Telford was very, very hard. Because there was like, you had the spike tires, but there's no traction. Whereas the stuff we done at Hull, it was you could wheelie off the start. And I had an old Westlake I built up for the Hull one, and I got a 15-point maximum in the individual where there was no money on. And then, the team event. Then an individual where there was 2.5 grand on. I scored actually, like, I think I crashed in the first one and didn't score bugger all for the rest of the night. So, but no, I used to enjoy it. They used to do that. Graham used to do that Valentine's Day every sort of like year. And so, yeah.
Good bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dangerous. Yeah. You didn't even think about it. Yeah, and I'm sat beside my hero, Steckers, on there. The Ice King. He won that so many years on the trot.
He was always colourful with all his gear and that, wasn't
Hey, I got a lot of time for that boy.
Yeah, I liked him. He was a Swindon manager for a while as well at one point.
Yeah.
Honey Sanford has just put, what did Shaun think of Exeter?
Hated it for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I heard they were going to close, and I went down there with Graham Dury, but with Workington, and I got an 18-point maximum. And that was like, and I got interviewed afterwards, and they were like, well, how'd you find it? I said, lovely, but it took me about 10, 12 years to enjoy it, and now you're going to close it and put houses on it. And I was like, what? And then there was an individual there about 2 months later, and I'd won every race, and in the runoff, me and Brett Werner and someone else, there was 4 of us in the final, and I thought, oh, I can do this. But Brett Werner, to be fair, done me. And, yeah, next minute later, that got closed. Very, very sad to see that place get closed, because there was the people were so friendly down there. The atmosphere down there was fantastic. And you went down there and looked at the place and you think, steel safety fence. But I'll be honest with you, mate, that was safer than the blow-up fences they got now, because you just slide along it. I probably had about 10 years worth of paintwork on it, so you weren't ever going to get a bum scratch from it, sort of thing, you know.
Use it as a motocross berm and all that. I remember Long use it for that, didn't he? I remember him berming off the dirt off the fence down there.
Well, last lap lol, mate. When a couple of years before he got injured, bless him. I've still got it on my Facebook now, and I was winning the race for the whole race, and lol, just I felt stupid, and I knew where lol was going to go, and I just literally the last bend, and he just went right up on the bank and just got me, and I'm like, what a retard! Why'd you do that? But like I say, I got a lot of time for that boy and his family and his dad and his brother, and that they've always been very, very nice to me over the years, and I treat that family with a lot of respect.
Now, as soon as you mentioned that, then I thought I've got Lawrence's DVD, and I saw that race.
Oh, what? Yeah.
It's on there. Now you say that, as soon as you started describing it, I remembered what it was. Yeah,
that is on his DVD, his last lap blow, isn't it?
Yeah.
To do me on the last bend.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Roger Hutchins has put, do I recall Brian Anderson once sticking Shaun in the fence on purpose after a race at Brandon?
No. What happened there was I borrowed Brian Anderson's bike. I'd done a wheelie, come over the finish line, couldn't get it down in time, hit the fence, bent the front wheel. And then in the next race, me and Brian Anderson were in heat 15, and I was winning it, but Brian took me over the finish line, and the crowd actually sort of like give a little bit of a boo, because they thought, well, Tacey was on a max sort of thing. Brian took it away. So halfway down the back straight, I go to shake Brian's hand, put my foot peg accidentally through his front wheel, ripped all his spokes out, and threw him down on the ground.
Yeah.
So I got my front wheel back.
See how rumours spread like this?
Yeah.
So there you go, Roger. You got the full story now. So you can get that down in there.
What's happening now then, Lee? Because I've made you cry, I've made you laugh. What's happening now then, bud?
I'm an emotional person anyway. Don't take a lot of emotional anyway. I get emotional just speaking to you, legends. Jesus. Right, where was I? I lost the plot here. Is Shaun riding in the Legends at the reunion? I think I've asked you this before, haven't I?
No.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, where is it?
It's too. You won't want to go there straight away. Since I tell you.
No, it's too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's down Henry Weston country of the woods, isn't it?
Yeah, it's down Devon.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like a 4 or 5 hours or something like that for you.
Yeah,
Innit?
I got a nosebleed thinking about it.
Exactly. It's a bloody long way in it to go do that.
Yeah.
One year when it comes more central.
It's all right if you got a big enough house, Lee, and you can put us all up for a few days.
I'm coming to stay with you. I'm already trying to Bagsy Dewey's sofa when I come up. There's another British Championship out there as well, so hopefully I'll get to come up for that one. It's Blacksall.
Yeah.
So that's up that way as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about.
Oh, don't talk to me about Blacksall. I'm on the waiting list to get into Blacksall on the 30th. Yeah. I'm still waiting to get in. I'm still on the waiting list. I'm about 9th or 7th.
Right, who runs that?
Woodbridge Club.
Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Right. If there's anyone on the Woodbridge Club on here, then you need to get this man into the meeting, pull some strings, as it were.
Lee, I'm a Woodbridge Club member.
What is going on there?
No, don't rock it, big boy. No, leave it at that. Trust me, leave it at that.
Get this man in. Get this legend in there. Let's be having you. So Greyings put, did you ever do the Brighton Centre?
No.
Is that an indoor one as well, was it?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I remember seeing that. It was really small. That was another level, I think, from what I remember.
Oh, I'll be honest, that was a little bit silly, wasn't it? Yeah. But you say that, can you remember watching Martin Dugard on what was that program? And he used to have to with someone Kerry. He had a speedway bike going around in a circle, and he was trying to hit footballs into a goal on a Saturday night.
You bet or something, was it? You
bet. That's it. You bet. Yeah, man.
Because they did a Coleman, boom.
Yeah.
He did a Coleman motocross one once as well. That's what I remember.
Oh, did he?
Yes, you bet. Yes.
But I'll be honest with you, Lee. I feel a little bit out of touch here because the people you've told me today and what I've seen you interviewing, I'm a little bit like, I feel like a postal worker or someone because I'm down here compared to the ones you're getting coming up, mate.
No, you are not.
You got some good boys coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been mental, mate, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
way. You can stay here anytime. I like that.
Hang on, I'm just going to take a photo of this so that we can...
Yeah. Proof.
Yeah, I got proof.
Yeah. And we're like 30 minutes away from Ling, 30 minutes away from Blacksall.
I see. So it sounds like we could get a cheeky little reunion going when I come up there, because I've talked about going to Ipswich Speedway, because Chris Louis came down to our reunion last year and he said I could come up. Then obviously I would be up there, and then Jeremy Doncasters and all that were talking about they have a curry night, and sounds like we could have a little Speedway reunion night.
Yeah. All within the perimeter, mate. All within the perimeter.
Exactly. Make it central or something.
I love that one with Jeremy.
Yeah, he's cool.
Mate, he's sound.
I got Alex Ketteringham has put Jaden says hi, Malvin. Won't be long till he lines up with you. Wink.
He's young lad, bless him. He's young lad is a grass tracker and motocross rider, and he's one of those little lads with the blue eyes what look up and like hello mate, and very, very shy, but I've tried taking him underneath my wing, and he's a lovely lad, really nice family as well, and nice.
So I'll come round, Paula, and I'll look after the dog, and you two can go out for a date night. There you go.
Oh,
do an interview from your laptop.
yeah.
With the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, loads of people wrote. Oh, here he is. Mr. Norris is on as well. Have good chats with Mr. Norris. You're a star, Tassels. Never think less. Boom.
Not as much as him. Do you know what, mate? That lad. When I was a kid,
yeah.
Can you remember World of Sport?
Yeah.
Dickie Davis. When I was a kid, I was like, I was about 13 years old, and I dreamed of being a speedway rider. And I was watching it one Saturday, and that was Peterborough 14 tournament, I think.
Oh, yeah,
and not Floppy was he was last. He was last. Come off gate 4 last, but he rode defence, and mate, he was like riding as though he was riding on like a motocross track, and he overtook everybody, mate. And then when I signed for Ipswich, when I became old enough, when Ricardson was there, and Ricardson had a house rented just literally about 600 yards away from Vauxhall Stadium, Tony would always invite us back for a party. Sometimes you'd do it, sometimes you wouldn't, but when everyone was going to do it, we would. One night, Tony flew through the fence, and he ended up on the stock car track. And I was like, well, that's the party finished. And he got put in an ambulance, got put in a meat wagon. But no, went back to his house. And he rang us all up and said, come back for a party. Well, he went back to bed. He literally went home to bed. And I thought, what? This is weird. We can't go to Ricardson's house to have a party. But no, Floppy and all us lot, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And, and Dave is like, legend, mate. Legend.
Oh, yeah, I've been having some great chats with him. I'm trying to get him on here. Convince him, Sean.
Well, yeah. And you, going back to that, when we was talking about engines and that, I said about not having engines done, but Carl Blumfeld did build me an engine once. And I took it to Eastbourne for the first time. Mate, I ripped down there, come off and round Eastbourne to beat Floppy or Martin, mate. Yeah. Like, take that picture, hang it up in my workshop. That'll do. I'm retiring. And if that could have been it, but that was live on Sky Sports that night, and that was like, oh, yeah,
love it. That's a good memory.
Yeah.
Gary Stead's also put, that's exactly what I think, Taste. Just Joe Soap. That's me.
What?
I'm not having it. He's just saying what you sort of said. Like, he's just put, that's exactly what I think, Taste. I'm just Joe Soap. That's me.
Oh. I don't understand that.
I think he means like when you were like, playing it down. You don't need to play it down.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he means. I'm pretty sure. Gary can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's what he means. But that's what I mean. You boys don't realise how much everyone thought about you guys. See, that's the thing.
Do you know what, mate? My missus says that to me all the time. She says to me, and she says when we went to a campsite this weekend, and she said, "Oh, my partner was a speedway rider, and he was really good." And I said, "No, it was a job." And she said, "Stop putting yourself down." But it's not. If my career was that good, I'd still be doing it now. But I couldn't hold up I couldn't stay. I had me good times, but I couldn't keep it at that. And but with Speedway, what people don't understand is you go to work for 9, 10, 11 hours. With Speedway, you're at work for 4 to 5 minutes. And if you're not performing in those 4 to 5 minutes, you're either hero or zero. And that, and I'll be honest with you, Lee. Like, you know, when all this sort of stuff started happening with the internet and stuff, I used to come home from Coventry. When I blew my best engine up and I could never get one running again, I'd come home and I'd just sit there and I'd just be like this. And I'd just bawl my eyes out and I'd be like, what's going on? And then the worst bit about it is the harder you tried to get out of that hole, the worse that it'd get, because you were trying too hard. And it's this stuff, which is happening now, is lovely because it's bang on. But back then, you know, you know what I'm saying, mate. You know what I'm saying. If you were on here you woke up with a bad headache and you're on here for 5 minutes and you're like, all right, guys, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, what's the matter with him? And they'd be like, well, you'd lose your clientele, wouldn't you? But the thing is as well, when all this sort of stuff happened, when I was riding at King's Lynn, 14 points, Tacey. Whoa, best thing since sliced bread, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks later, I'd get 3. And I'd probably only get 3 because someone fell off in one race and I'd get 1 point or something. Oh, get rid of him, get rid of him. 2 weeks later, go and get 12 points again. Best thing again. I don't knock fans for that, because fans are there. They pay their money and they are paying their money to the club. They want to see the club do well. But everyone's human.
Yeah, they are, mate.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Stevens has just put, hi, Sean, you're my favourite Coventry rider, from Matt Stevens, a Racers fan. See that? Even away fans.
Yeah, bless him. I sort of know him, bless him, and
I know, Matt.
Yeah. I've met a lot of lovely people over the years. I have met a lot of lovely people, and it is still quite heartwarming for people to be in touch, you know. Hence to do this and that now, and you know, when I spoke to you earlier, I go down to Canada Heights, and the old boy down there who signs you in and what have you, he's got a Ipswich and Kings Lynn race shirt and all that sort of stuff. And there's so many people in the motocross world what are involved in the speedway, because when there's 2 wheels, that's all involved, isn't it? And it is a family commitment and unit, and that he's so humble to still be recognised and have people, and like you know, I call them my heroes. Jake Nichols, Luke Parker, Sean Southgate, and all that. They all come up to me and they're like, "Woo, Tacey, how you doing?" And they're like, because I do a stupid thing where I take one of my legs off me when I do a jump, and I like just send me leg, and they're like, "Yeah, boy, here you go," and all that. And they love it. And just,
no idea what you mean.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's old school. We love a one-legger, Tacey.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time for that.
That was a very, very good friend. That's from Besthorpe. My one of my best friends. I will call him one of my best friends, if not my best friend, Mark Brown. He runs Besthorpe Motocross track near Attleborough, and safety is max, mate, absolutely max. And whenever I'm up there, we went up there for a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to ride on the Saturday and Sunday. Took the caravan up there, and but I'm known as the maintenance man up there, and then I was like 8 o'clock. I thought, right, okay, get me bike out. Sean, come here. Someone ain't got their back brake working. Oh, here we go. And then next minute, 2 punches. and then next minute a kickstart not working, and then next minute something else. And I got to about 3 o'clock. Well, the track shuts at 4, and I said, she said, the missus said to me, she go, "Your bike girl. So what's the point now?" And so we just like, but I love those guys up there. They're brilliant.
Good Parker. Tacey's the man.
Oh. No, he is my hero. He is my hero.
It shows you that all the boys always come on. It's really cool when they come on as well.
I bought that bike off Elliot. Well, not off Elliot last year, but off a company. And I text Luke, and I said, "I've bought this bike. It's cost me nearly 10 grand. That one, and it's got this, that, and everyone on it. And I've got to watch my language." But Luke actually said everyone now is something off the start.
Something off the start.
I can't use the word.
Shit off a shovel. What is it?
Someone is now probably not got to bother going off the start because they are. Yeah. Basically, Luke said there's no point anyone going on the start because Tacey's going to do it every time.
Yeah, whole shot. Someone's just put Jack Austin's just put whole shot king old Tacey is.
Jack Austin. Oh, he's one of the Jake Nichols' best mates. He's lovely lad. Lovely lad.
Yeah, I had a good laugh with Jake on here as well. We did an interview with Jay. That was cool.
Yeah. I got paired up with Jack Austin just before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine was having his birthday, and he had a little track, and he reckoned that was 1 minute 35 to go round. Mm-hmm. And he paired me up with Austin, and there was Luke and all that there, and Ben Cole and what have you. And the rules were you could bring as much beer as you wanted and drink as much, ride with your crash helmets turned backwards, and do as many or least laps as you wanted, wear 1 boot or 2, and I thought, nah. And I was riding at Canada Heights the next day, and I thought, no, I can't do it. No. I let him down, unfortunately. And Jack Austin, yeah.
Sounding messy.
Yeah.
Got Jason Colthorpe. He's put, who was the best and worst promoter you rode for and why? Racing Jason. Interesting.
I will be honest with you. Jason is a Ipswich through and through. Okay,
I see.
And Mildenhall.
Oh yeah, Mildenhall. Yeah, I see you wrote there.
And he probably won't like me hearing saying this, but the one I got on the best with was Graham Judgy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Judgy think you're a C, he'll call you a C. If he thinks you're a top banana, he'll call you a top banana. And I like Judgy because he was black and white. There was no in between with him. Mm. And with my time with him at Workington, I was by myself, and I was down at Exeter. I didn't have any mechanic, no nothing. And halfway through the meeting, he was like, "Tace, you're going out in this one again." I'm like, "I've only just come in for this one." And I had to turn the back tire, and I was doing all that, methanol up, and what have you. And he was like, "For F's sake, boys, give this boy a hand." And we lost down there. I think we only scored about 32 points, but I got an 18-point maximum.
Cool.
And I won every race. I do not know how. I just got down there, sorted the place out, looked at it, and I thought, right, 240 jet, ignition on 26, 58 back sprocket, 59, long wheelbase. Let's hang on and have a go. And then like whoa. And I just thought, and I learned by mistake from Lol doing me on the fence, just ride the fence for the whole 4 laps, you know? And then it was a couple of weeks later, I don't know if I could say this, but we were up at Berwick, and that was the night before, and we'd done a meeting somewhere, and that was right. We sort of got in this travel lodge sort of thing. That was about 5 o'clock, and one of my Sky Sports preventers, still rider, was with us. And come on, boy, let's go out for a beer. And no, not going out for a beer. Dragged him out for a beer. Blah blah blah. I think we wandered back about 11 o'clock, half 11, something like that. We weren't too bad. We were all right. But and then we rode Berwick the next night. And yeah, and then that was the last heat. We drew, and then Judgy said, "I'm nominating you to go and do the runoff." I said, "Right, okay." So I got down on the start line, and all the Workington fans were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and I'm like, "All right, guys, how you doing?" Because that was against Dremel. He picked the inside, I picked the outside. And I'm like, yeah, and they were all like, come on, you got to do this. And I'm like, I'll be honest, mate, I was that relaxed. I thought, well, whatever happens, happens. You know, and I'm like, yeah. And all the women and blokes and that were like, oh, that was one of those days where you just dropped the clutch and the bike just took off. And you just aimed for the fence, went round the boards. I come out the second bend, I look behind, and I'm like, mate, I'm gone. I am gone. And I just held up flat stick, but Speedway is cruel because you when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, because that could have gone horribly wrong. But you know, same as you know, motocross and what have you, it can bite you so hard, and you think, why am I spending all this money doing this? Because it can be so painful. But when you're enjoying it, and that's like now, while I do it, and I'll be honest, my partner, bless her, we do it over a weekend, and when I'm doing it, she knows I'm in the gear. I'm not in the gear when I'm racing because little kids can come up to me and they can sit on my bike, and I'll take time out. But when I'm focused on doing the riding, I'm never going to be any good at it, but I want to give it my best shot. So I want to give it my best shot. But so when we go there with the caravan and what have you, the food and what have you is took after by her. So all I've got to do is get the bike scrutineered, this and that, and I can, just do what I do,
Love it.
I've got to make you cry again now because I made you cry at the start. So what can we do now?
I know, I'll just put a picture up on the screen quick.
Yeah.
Do you think he's put this picture up for quite a while? I've learned that's a good mask if it's really needed.
Anyway, I'm sorry because I started, as I told you earlier, I started at 10 to 5 this morning, done that recovery this morning.
Yeah.
I didn't get home till like 5:45, so I hadn't had time to do my nails or get prepped up for the TV and what have you. So I'm rough and ready. So you got to take me as I am, mate. And it's past my bedtime. I'm not. You ask me, what's that?
That's how we want you, rough and ready.
Bless you.
Oh, brilliant. David's just put, can you recall your first trip to Poland? I remember a young Roscoe also made the same trip.
Yeah, trust David to say that. Does he want me to tell the truth?
Yeah, he does. I'm sure he's planted the seed, isn't he? That's what he's doing.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that was a 28-hour trip to Poland to Coventry. Went to take on Hans Nielsen's Warsaw. And Hans had sorted it when I was riding for Coventry that we had a individual a Coventry v Warsaw during the day, and about 2 hours later, then it was a individual in the evening, and the individual basically was between Lee Adams and Hans Nielsen in the evening type thing.
Was it good?
Yeah. We got stuck on a border for about 6 hours, and I ended up changing an engine in one of my bikes, and Roscoe sat in the back of my van and drunk beer.
He was one of the ones trying to plant seed on Facebook the other day as well, didn't he? I think you saw his.
Oh no, I don't know what you're on about. I ain't got a clue what you're on about, mate. I ain't got a clue. Don't know what you're on about.
I've already seen too many comments about that.
Don't know.
I'm trying to avoid them.
Yeah.
At least avoid it. What was Hans like then as a teammate? Obviously, he was a proper legend. I was buzzing when I obviously did his interview as well, and met him at the opening of Oxford last year, which was super cool. Rang the missus up, and I said, "You never guess what? Hans actually called me Lee. Like, Jesus Christ, he actually like remembered me and everything." She was like, "Who's that? Who's that?" I was like, "Oh God."
Well, he was called Professor, wasn't he?
Yes.
And he's when he finished with Coventry, he invited me round to his house with us boys, Andy Smith, Brian Anderson, for a barbecue and what have you. Just Colin Meredith get together on the Saturday night before he moved back to Denmark, and but Hans is Hans in the sense that he'd socialise a beer, maybe a second one. The true professional, and back then I was 19 years old, and he took me in his workshop and what have you, and he took me round his perimeter, and he basically said to me, he said, "Shaun, if you get your head down, and this is what you can achieve." And I'll be honest with you, Lee, I wasn't consistent enough to do that. I don't know why. I can put it down to engines. I can put it down to life, whatever. On my day, I could do it. On my poor day, I couldn't beat a reserve. And on my best day, I'm not being big-headed. I could beat any of them. But on my worst day, I probably couldn't beat a mascot if they only done 2 laps. And so I wasn't consistent enough.
No.
And I put it down to engines and stuff, and it's I don't know, mate. It's like going to work for 4 minutes if you don't get here 15, 5 minutes if you do get here 15, and that's like now with the motocross, and as you know as well as I do, there's in our centre there's an A, B, and C group, and if you go really, really fast, you put yourself in the A. If you go fairly quick, you put yourself in the B. But sometimes I put myself in the C's, sometimes I put myself in the B's, and I just do it to enjoy it now, and it's fun. It's fun, and I've met so many nice people, and the thing is at motocross, everyone's there. You can ask anyone for anything, and they help you out. But 9 times out of 10, because they know what I'm like, I get asked what I've got to help them out with.
Just putting some nice pictures up as well while we're talking, so that the fans can see them as well. I just had oh, looks like Sean's on as well now. All the Motocross boys are on as well.
Tace is the man.
Bringing the Motocross boys on as well. See,
mate, he. Did you see what he done at Wembley?
No,
did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
He kicked ass at Wembley, and he won it, mate. Yeah.
What about the arena cross stuff? And the
the arena cross.
Yeah. I've took photos of Sean in a couple of meetings and stuff like that, at some meetings and stuff, and I've dabbed my camera and stuff.
Him and his dad, Toddy Southgate, they are lovely, lovely people. Really nice people.
Beauty. Thanks for coming on, Sean. I got look, we got Kirk's on here. Hi from the United States.
Oh, I got a clue who that is.
Yeah, I know him. He's He's a friend of a friend in America. So he's even coming on to watch you as well. It goes all over the place. That lots of lies. I better quote some of these. Like Ethan's put living legend, Tacey boy.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's a good lad. I know him very well. He's a good lad.
George Ellis, what a legend. Elliot Banks Brown's 450 never started so good.
Told you. And that was a picture you shared a little while ago.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Richie's just put Tace. How's he going? What a hero.
And Richie boy, big racing. He's mechanicked for so many riders on the Oystergaard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, Richie's been Bjarne Pedersen. No, Richie's been a mechanic for many of the big boys.
What about thought about having an idea once, getting a few mechanics on at the same time and getting a
Richie Big Boy would be the one to get on.
Okay.
He'll tell you some stories, but you might have to do it after 11.
Yeah. What AM? John's put, wish I could have your starts as well.
Oh, mate, he is. There was a couple of years ago. I thought, I don't know, what's all this over 30s thing about? I thought that'd be all right. That'd be a little bit more tame, rather than, because not being rude, you're not nearly 50, and you sit there on the start line, and you got like dads behind these kids, and they're like banging them on the back, and like the kids are like rah 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 rah, and they're like wham 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 wham, and I think, well, and you're sitting beside them thinking, hang on, we're on the start line, what's going on? And then like, come on, and I'm thinking, what's this over 30s thing about? So I thought I'll join that, have a go at that. Oh my god. That was just that was nice, but that John Hines, he was one of the lads who first sort of like got in contact with me, and he said, mate, and he's very, very quick, ex-expert, and he said, I don't treat anything, and the times I'd done him at the start and led him for a lap, and when he come past me, it was like he went woo, and that was like saying, "Yep, cheers, boy," as though to say thanks for doing me, but now I'm going.
That's beautiful. Paula was saying we went to Mildenhall last year MXing. Sean dumped his bike off. We went across to Speedway, which is also on. So many people asked Sean to come back to Speedway and manage again.
No. No.
Oh, you've ruined my question for us. Just about to ask it.
Yeah, no. I said to Paula, I said, as soon as the last race is finished, I said, I'm going to sling my bike in the back of the van as quick as I can. We're going to go over there because I know the people on the turnstile, but we'll go over there and watch the last 5 heats. Yeah. Got over there, and they were like, oh, and so many people coming up to me and like, oh, come on, you can do this, and I'm like, Yeah, no. And I'll be honest with you, Lee. You know, Peter Oak's done a thing on me in the papers and what have you when I quit, and he said he left with no farewell, no goodbyes, just quit. Didn't ask for any help or anything, blah, blah, blah. And you know when, you know, it's a time when the traveling is a struggle. It's this and it's that. And, you know, I don't care about young lads kicking me because I'll first thing I'll shake the hand and say fair play. But it comes to respect as well, where you got to respect your own sort of like you've been there, seen it and done it. And it's time for another era to move on and what have you. And that's like with the motocross. I don't have that with that because I can go and just do what I want. I've got no one to answer to. I haven't got a judgy or someone like that saying you will win this race and you will do this, and you're turning up a referee that's pouring down rain. We're going to run this. Like, yeah, on your bike, I'm going home. You know, but once riding's in your blood, it's in your blood, isn't it? Yeah. You know that.
Yeah, so it's like, do you feel like when you go to motocross, obviously you can just go to motocross and sort of not worry about pressure size of like racing like you had with Speedway, just go and literally enjoy the riding?
I do, because I sit there on that start line, and I'm all right till I get there, and I'm all right till I get there. I'm like sounds a pound, and everyone says, "Hey, are you buzzing?" You're on about buzzing, putting your boots and that on, ride down to the start gate and you pick a gate. Oh, I got 39th. Oh, well, I'm going to get a shit gate, blah, blah, blah. And you think, oh, whatever. And then you sit there and you just like look and you think, and I just want to go. I just want to go. And then I know I've got so many good riders around me that they're going to do me, but I'm going to get to that first bend first. I just love it. And then Luke, who messaged you earlier. Oh, mate, yeah.
Love it. Good to see that you enjoy it. Anyway, mate, that's good that you're doing that.
Yeah.
Lawrence Hare's just come on. He's put, evening, Sean. I remember we had another run in on the same corner on Sky too that ended in tears. I sent that one to Lee.
that was live on Sky Sports, and my front, yeah, we got locked together and we both went over the handlebars. And Susie Perry interviewed me, and yeah.
Did she?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
That's brilliant. There's always good stories, isn't there? There's always good stories. Bobby H. Sean, what made you sign for Arena Essex from Coventry in 01 or 02? Always thought you flew around Berwick as well. Mention that tonight, really.
Ipswich to Berwick. Hell of a distance.
yeah. Just a bit bigger and a bit banky and a bit flat out.
Yeah.
So what? So you went from? Is that right? Is it you went from Arena from Coventry? Was it?
Yeah.
So.
Oh no! I was yeah. Well, I had a little spell at Isle of Wight in '97.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What was that like? 'Cause that's a big old trek, isn't it?
Yeah, big and flat. They have long track meetings there now, don't they?
Long track there. That tells you all you need to know. So what was that like?
Isle of Wight. Fantastic year. That was the first year I signed in Sweden as well in 1997. And I signed for Getingarna in Sweden and rode Isle of Wight, and I was captain over Isle of Wight that year, and fantastic year in both countries, to be honest.
I was going to ask you about being a captain as well, because I did spot that I knew you'd been captain and stuff. I think you was even captain at Lakeside Arena Essex or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you, and did that change anything for you, being the captain as well? Did that?
Yeah, more pressure.
Hmm.
More pressure. I didn't want it.
Hmm.
Didn't want it. Didn't like it. And my favourite riding number was number 2. Number 2 or number 4. And the last year I spent at Kings Lynn, they put me at number 5 as a heat leader, and I knew I had the 2 tough heats. And no, I didn't enjoy it, to be honest.
Fair enough. I've got Honey's put, what is the best memory of your Speedway career? Ooh.
Too many to mention.
That's a good thing. Got some. I've got a nice memory here. Look. Hey.
Me and Robbo.
Yes. See him, bless him. He's having a bit of trouble trying to get his testimonial running here. I've seen the other week. Bit of a nightmare.
Me and Hans Anderson's leathers on there.
Is it?
Yeah.
How come you had them then?
Sorry?
How come you had them on them? Was that you just had them off of him, or?
No, he gave them to me.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah, I wrecked the set, and Hans just give me a spare set. That was the year he then turned into trying Kevlar.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he gave me a set of leathers.
Okay. That's a good question as well. I was going to have that. Going to mention that. Nigel Stevens just put, what was it like to ride alongside Billy and Greg?
Billy, Greg, Simon Cross, Hans Nielsen. Superb. But I learned more of Billy and Greg than I did anyone else, because they passed on so much stuff.
Yeah.
But again, once the gate is shut, you still got to do your own thing.
Yeah.
And I will be honest, those boys, very, very good at their job, but different to me, because they were only involved with the riding, whereas at that time I was doing the engine tuning, the bike maintenance and everything. But they just literally knew the riding. They told their guys how they wanted to set up, and that was that. That was at Oxford.
Yeah. Can you remember that when you had those?
Yeah. I hated that. Oh, mate, I hated that. I felt like a Johnny.
When it's slippery and all that on the seats and stuff.
Ah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. That's Lawrence Hare in the middle.
Yeah, see that. And Hurry, is it? That's Hurry as well, isn't it? You, Billy.
Hurry at the back in red, and Billy on the outside.
So I've only got one more to complete the set of that. I've been chasing him for an interview for a while, and he's been on a few of these interviews, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to get Billy on. So I'm one away from the set of that.
Right.
You're all heroes to me, so it's really cool to do.
Yeah.
There's you behind Screeny there, isn't it? Is that Screeny? Yeah, Screeny.
Yeah.
My question was, who is some of the riders? Who's been your favourite to team ride with?
Freddie Eriksson.
Oh yeah.
Good lad. I've spent a lot of time with him in Sweden. I'd say Thomas Gollard, but I always took him. Well, I was team riding with him, but I overtook him.
Brilliant.
Nah, I spent a lot of time with Freddie when I first went to Sweden, and I lived with him and his mum and dad for a bit, and we used to do stuff, what have you.
So the missus go woo woo.
Yeah, I know. But no.
Woo
Woo!
So yeah.
woo.
Oh, shut up.
You sound American, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, closet. I got a picture of you with that as well. Where's that one? Just on it, literally there.
On the Harley.
Oh yeah, I got that as well. This one.
Yeah, that was at Chippenham Motocross last year.
Oh, was it? I've raced there back in the 90s.
Yeah.
We had a finals there once, I think. Beauty, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm talking about the bike or.
Nice.
Wee.
Thanks.
I know
Oi,
she's listening.
oi. That's a hog. No, that's called a hog.
What, the actual what? What are we talking
A
about
hog.
now? Oh,
Huh?
Not me, not me.
That's a hog.
when he was going,
That's a hog.
I was going.
Oh, now you go and spoil it.
I said I'd put them up for us. Here we go. Look, what were you doing here? Is this you listened to that man, didn't you?
That's me on the outside.
Yeah.
That's Savalas Cloughton on the inside in
Yeah.
red.
Yeah.
That's Golub in blue, I think, or
don't know.
Antonio
Yeah, I
Svab.
was going to say Svab. That's who I thought it was, Svab. So that would be right then. It's
And
definitely
there's
not that's Savalas, is it?
yeah, and that's Robbo in
Robson.
white. Stuart Robson in white.
I thought it was God to start with. Got to get him wrong now. Then, hey, old Skornicki, innit?
Yep. At Wolverhampton.
Yeah. What did you think of Wolverhampton? Did you going up Colson corridor there?
Oh, I've got a permanent dislocated collarbone thanks to Nicky Pedersen for that.
Don't sound like him.
No. That was the fourth turn, and as when I was riding for Shane for Kings Lynn, he pulled a big locker on me at the fourth turn, and he was winning, and just turned around, looked at me, and yeah, I've got a lump on my shoulder where the collarbone's permanently dislocated, and Shane Parker was behind me, my teammate, and he literally jumped off his bike and grabbed me and said, "Love you, Tassels," as he grabbed me and got hold of me as he crashed.
I got Jack the Racer on YouTube's put, "Why, Malvin, don't get too drunk on your Ribena."
Who's that?
Says YouTube account's called Jack Racer 261.
Why Melvin? That's like Alex Ketron again, I think. He's the only one who calls me Melvin.
Is there a reason for that? Or?
Don't know why he calls me Melvin. I ain't got a clue.
Who's that? Got Nigel Stevens said, "Hi Lee and Sean. I can remember Sean turning up at Cradley in 94, 95 riding a Hans Nielsen bike." Is that right?
Yeah.
Why was that then?
I had an engine failure or something going out for a ride, and Hans come running out with his bike. I jumped on it, and because I was dressed in his leathers and everything, and then I was on his bike. I was against Eastbourne, and Dean Barker won the race, and I shook Dean's hand after the race had finished, and Dean was laughing like hell, but he thought he'd beat Hans Nielsen. No, he'd beat Shaun Tacey. And, he realised once he seen my eyes and whatever, he realised that was me. And then I said to Hans, I said, I need that bike because I had so many problems with engines and stuff. And me and Hans done a deal, and yeah, come January, I rolled up to his house and went and got it. So, yeah.
Did it do you well?
Sorry?
Did it do you well when you had that? Was it good?
It weren't the bike I rode. It was okay, but then, like I said earlier on, a company sponsored me, and they set me up one with Alf Busk of a Jawa again, and that was, mate, that worked everywhere. And Alf Busk and Guy Allett looked after me really, really well with doing stuff. But that was Guy who pushed me into it, and he said, Sean, he said, what you, Mark Lauren, Scott Nichols behind me. He said, what I'm doing to your engine now, he said, you can do yourself. And he pushed me into starting to rebuild my own engines. So I just took it and started from scratch and learnt myself, really.
But Jed just put, I had some great times with Tassels at Ipswich and in his early years on the local grass tracks.
Known Jeddles for years. He used to be Ben Howe's mechanic.
Oh yeah, Ben Howe, yeah.
And Jeddles, bless him, he runs a little moped speedway outfit just outside Colchester, Braintree sort of area. And no, Jeddles is lovely, and known him for years. That's me and Savalas. Savalas on the inside, me on the outside.
Good times at Ipswich. They've changed the track quite a few times now, haven't they? Like brought the insides in and a few things like that. Did you always enjoy the track?
Always loved it, but it's made it a lot. Yes, it's made it a lot easier to ride now because it was long straights, tight bends. It's more of a not a circle, but it's a lot easier to ride now.
Yeah. Do you go out there much now watching? Do you get yourself out there much, or?
Mate, since I've been give up since 2008, I've gone 3 times.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, no, Kings Lynn a couple of times,
Yeah.
and Ipswich a couple of times. Yeah, no, I've been to a couple of World Cups at Kings Lynn. No, not at all, really, mate. I do 60, 65 hours a week, and then trying to do your own stuff as well, and
you don't have time to sleep.
People trying to get you on interviews and that in your spare time and stuff.
Well, I think we spoke about this that was well over a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Recently.
I have to do a lot of begging on a lot of regular basis.
Well, this is like about an hour and a half past my bedtime, mate.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna be hated for it.
Everyone think I'm a rock star, and I stay up and drink and do naughty things and whatever. I'm not like that, mate. I'm no.
When you need to go, you just tell me, because we can always do a part 2. I have to do quite a few parts.
You're all right, mate.
What did you always think? I didn't even ask you about that. What about the commentary track? Didn't even ask you that. What was your? Did you always love the track there, or?
I loved the track there when Colin Meredith was doing it. I really, really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I did think that the Coventry track rode better, being me and Nigel Sadler there.
Yeah.
Nigel Sadler in white. They always rode better, slicker. Me and Scott Robson. It always rode better on the slicker side. That way you had, you know, it was safer. But there was grip on the outside. But if you wanted it, you went for it. And then for some reason, like Poole, and Coventry, Oxford, and Birmingham, they started like ripping them up, making them like motocross tracks, and you're like, what are you doing? And that weren't just the outside; that was all the way down to the white line, and that was like, what is going on? That this is not Speedway. And I couldn't understand what they were trying to do, to be honest, mate. And that was at the point, and they didn't stop doing it. And that was like, mate, you know, why are they doing this? You know, ain't got a clue.
Like a ploughed field, was it?
Well, I don't understand that the bikes have got like a couple of inches clearance. And they were just like ripping the hell out of the tracks. And, you know, and on those things, you're doing like 60, 70 mile an hour, but the back wheels are doing 120 mile an hour. So why make a motocross track to ride them things on? I couldn't understand it.
Sean's just put, are you still doing the NGR, bud?
No. That is the over 30s I was talking about earlier on.
Oh, that's what it's called, is it? NGR, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people call it no good riders, but that ain't right.
yeah. It doesn't work out that way. Everyone does that.
No.
Yeah.
And Sean moved away from this area. He's down in Cornwall.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And like even my meeting, we got the over 45s. I think I told you about. It's like. Yeah, there's some quick boys in all of them. Trust. Simon Lee's just put, whatever happened to Ben Howe, fan favourite Newport?
We were just talking about him a little while ago, weren't we?
Yeah, we were just saying about him.
He sort of give up, then come back, and then when there was Elite League, Premier League, Conference League, he done Conference League at Newport, which. He was a British champion at one point, and then come back to that. I couldn't understand what he was doing, and like I said to you, there's so many people don't know the time when to say douche, go.
Yeah, to leave it.
Yeah, and you know. Leave with your head held high, and you can carry on because you can still sort of earn money at it, but not so much anymore. And it comes to everyone. You know you got to come. Yeah. So,
what did you think of What did you think when Crumpy come back? That was a bit of a shot that time, wasn't it? When Jason come back and rode.
I love Crumpy to bits. I you know what? There's so many people who say to me he comes across on the telly and what have you, and me and him, he was at 1, I was at 2 in Vagana for a couple of years, and off track, nicest bloke you'll ever want to meet.
Yeah.
But he's one of these ones when he's got his ride gear on, it doesn't matter whether I'm his teammate or when he's got the zone on, that is it. But I can't knock the boy. He's got where he's got, and good lad, and I've always got on well with him, and I won't hear a bad word said against him because he's a nice lad. But
Yeah.
I do see where some people see it. Sorry.
No, let's carry on. I didn't say anything there.
Oh, where it comes across on the telly that he does come across a bit, but I don't see that, to be honest. He's all right. He's a good lad, but I can see where people are coming from when they say stuff.
I've got. I think that's a picture. Is that him riding for Peterborough? I think, and
Yeah, in red.
looks a bit heavy there.
Yeah.
A nice one as well. I think that's Lowell and Robson, you, and I'm not sure what that is on the outside.
Yeah, me in yellow and black.
What did you think of Oxford?
Again, I loved Oxford until they started making it like a played field. Why make it like a why make it like a played field? You know, it's got long straights, tight bends. Yeah, rip it up on the outside so the boys who have got the balls to go for the dirt, but not rip it all the way down to the inside to make it like just take off city. And and back then, you know, Lee, you know, not being rude, the thing is like the way things are progressed, the bikes are progressed, and I'm not knocking anyone who's doing it now and what have you, because it is like full respect. But like you go back to the British finals like 15, 18 years ago, there was 16, 18 riders, including the reserves, and there was 10 of them. You could think, what? Well, who's going to win it? With the exception of Andy Smith at Coventry, like laugh and joke aside, but there was like Havelock, Screen, Lorem, Simon Wigg, bum. You keep going.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not knocking the lads now, but you look at a British final now. There's like King, Lambert, right. So there's two, and that is fact. And like I say, I'm not knocking those boys because that's the nature how it's gone, but. There is no.
Oh, it's not as stacked. No way.
No.
The strength and depth's not there like it was.
No.
Hopefully, obviously Bewley's done well, and he's our go-to guy, I suppose, with Lambert at the minute, and obviously if you're counting Ty as well, but
Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden, obviously, yeah, but yeah, like you said, it's just not like you said.
Yeah, but not being rude though, not being rude, buddy. I said, you know, that'll only be like what 1-2 years time, and then the press will be saying, "Oh, Ty is a veteran."
Yeah,
You know, it will. It's not far off.
What happened there?
Oh, thanks to that one, mate. Cheers, mate. Bitch. That was at Ipswich.
How was it?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. You knew that. Oh, yeah. Thanks ever so much as well. Carl, you're doing my sex appeal well good, didn't you?
Woo!
Well,
Woo!
Having a flush here.
We got a woo. Did you enjoy that was the Mildenhall days, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they weren't at Mildenhall because I've got a yellow helmet colour on. That was at Mildenhall with Lawrence Rogers in the background.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did. That was good fun because that was only half an hour away from Ipswich. So when you finished the meeting, that was like only half hour to get home. Yeah, that was enjoyable.
What about Kings Lynn?
Love Kings Lynn. Not that year. Not that year. I found that year really, really hard. Couldn't get me head round the track. Couldn't get round the bends. And the more people told me you're going into a bend at 80 mile an hour, the more you bank it over, the more you're going to get round the track. Nah, mate. That was like, that was, I enjoyed that year.
A lot of noises coming out of the background then. What's happening? Scared to put a picture up now. Here we go.
Oh my days.
Brilliant. What was that? Is that a Berwick?
Yes.
I think it is. So you like the old Berwick track then?
Yeah.
That was literally like a nail it, wasn't it? And you could go out wide, had good banking and all that, didn't it, as well?
That's it, especially on the 3rd and 4th. Yeah.
Who were the riders that you looked up to and idolised then when you were young? Before you got, was there Speedway guys and motocross guys that you looked up to? And
yeah, all of them. I grew up racing with, even though they're a few years older than me, like Screeny, Mark Loram. I was always at the grass track clubs they were at, and just used to watch them and just think, oh, why can't I be that good? And then like the Cradley days, Yano Pedersen and
Mr. Miyagi.
You know, all of them boys, like, you know, too many to mention, to be honest. But they were in my younger days.
Have you always, so you said, like, obviously you did the engine, so you was always interested in that side of thing, on the technical side of stuff with the engines and that? Was you always interested in that? Or?
No, never had no choice. When I used to do the Mablethorpe beach racing, and one Saturday morning we go to start my bike before we went to leave, and it didn't sound too good, so we had to roll down to the local motorbike shop, and I was only 9-10 years old then, and I helped my dad strip the engine apart to put a new piston in it, and I don't think he really knew what he was doing, so I didn't know what I was doing, but we got it running, and so yeah, but no, I enjoyed that side of things more than anything else, and then that went on as well, because then I used to do the training schools. I used to run training schools at Kings Lynn and at Arena Essex for the kids, and I used to get more out of that than I did my riding. And I used to limit it to like 25 riders. It wasn't to make money. It was just to cover the costs and to give you a couple of quid for running it. But on those days when you were running, you got the kids on the start line and you were telling them what to do, you could see the ones with the eyes which were showing you, and you think, mate, you're going to go somewhere. And the ones which were like, you know, it were like, and you try and talk to them, and the dad is, you know, and you persevere, but even though I didn't think that, I still got more interest out of that, and I think that sort of started to willow down, and you know, and then with the traveling, and then with doing engines, and then when I started becoming successful at doing my own engines, other riders were asking me to do engines, and then I was spending so much time doing that, and I'm like, whoa, hang on, I got a ride tomorrow. I didn't even wash my bike yet. Blah blah blah. And that now needs, and it just got too much. And then when I bust this collarbone, I got a job, and that was sort of like November time, and I thought, I didn't even think, I was working all through the winter, and I didn't even think about the next season, and I knew what wage, it wasn't a good wage, but I knew what wage I was having coming in. I could cover my bills. And my dad rang me up and he said, all right, boy, he said, are you riding this year? And I was like, I don't know, Dad. I think I'll give it a good hit, and I think that's about it, sort of thing, you know. And he said, well, right, okay. So, and that's, I didn't ask to leave. I didn't choose, or, you know, I just thought, right, that's a time. That's a time. And I think everyone should know when it's a time, you know. And I could have carried on doing it, thinking I could do this and do that. But because I've always been a survivor and I've always worked for it the winter times, I've been a bricklayer, I've done roadworks, I've done security, I've done this, done that. So come the winter time, I found it a novelty to do something in the winter time. And I just enjoy doing work, you know.
Did you not ever want to carry on doing all the Speedway engines then, or?
I probably would have. I can't really go into that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Barry Young just put Kings Lynn was a grippy when Shaun rode there.
Oh yes, yes it was. Too grippy for my liking back in the early days. That used to scare me to death.
Yeah, all proper grippy. Andy, that's a good point as well. Andy Hobbs has just put Motocross was the same 20 years ago. Top 10 riders, lots of GP riders. Gavry's talking about the British riders as well. Used to have like a lot of top GP riders in the top 15, that type of thing. I think we sort of pretty much only got one over there doing the GPs at the moment, probably Mr. Watson. Ben Watson's over there doing it. I think you just got a 9th at the weekend, I believe. So yeah, it's like I was speaking to Jamie Dobb the other day, and like the fact that he's still our last motocross British world champions, 2001.
Did you watch that Ben Watson at Ling a couple of years ago with Hurlands there?
I saw the coverage of it. That was
mate. He was rinsing him. He was rinsing him. That was so pretty to watch.
Bloody good.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's not doing better than what he is, that Ben, because he looked the talent on there. But again, Hurlands was probably just half throttle that day, but all warming up. But that Ben Watson, I rated him that day. He looks so fast.
Remember that? Yeah. I think he was on the Yam then.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. So I think he's obviously got that ride with the factory team Kawasaki. He didn't seem to get on with that. And now he's what's his name? I think he's at the Beta, isn't he? I think he's at that got a Beta bike or whatever the new team is. I think he's riding that now. But yeah, he got a 9th at the weekend. I think it was Switzerland. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, he's got in the top 10. But like you said, it's cutthroat out there, and there's not many teams. You've probably seen some of the races yourself on the TV. They don't tend to have full lineups and stuff like they used to have. It's all money and all that, isn't it? So was there any tracks that you didn't used to like in the UK, Shaun, that you specifically didn't get on with? Was there any that you used to not like going to?
Arena Essex.
Was it?
I went and signed it.
I was just going to get me pictures of in a minute doing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to hate the place with a passion.
Did you? So what turned that for you then? Just thought go and get it right, and then it's a trick track for a home rider, or?
Well, I just thought if you can ride the small ones, the big ones are easy, aren't they?
That's true. So did you enjoy it in the end then?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Once I got used to it.
Yeah.
That was at West Ham, that was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, West Ham. We had a photo shoot there on our press and practice day.
With the Hammers thing.
Yes.
Makes sense. Weren't you captain there as well, weren't you? I'm sure you were. For a bit. Maybe.
There's a story behind that photo. Hold that one.
Yep.
A very good friend of mine who you didn't show in that picture earlier on. when we done all the stuff with the second halves, a lad called Darren Fitch, and that was his dad. He was a starting marshal, and he passed away a couple of years ago. Very, very, lovely family, nice people. And he was saying, Shaun, come on, because I weren't doing a Chris Louis, all that stuff. I was just literally just letting the clutch call down.
He's trying to get you in there.
Yeah.
Like they do.
That's Arena Essex. That's from Arena Essex.
Yeah. Is that a guest thing, or was he actually riding from them?
No, I was riding for him.
Oh, he was actually riding for him.
Yeah.
Was that before they did the team level then, I'm gathering? So he's got the race jacket as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What did you think about that when they did the whole team thing and all that with, like, Kevlars and stuff like that? Because
Cheers. Absolutely.
Preferred to, like, the riders to have their own thing and personality and all that, and what they used to have. And
thing is, even if you're a regular, when everyone's got the same kit and that on, that's hard for you to notice what riders rock. Yeah, even if you're a regular and you see them day in day out. But they were trying to bring it forward, and that all started with Sky and what have you on it. They were trying to bring it forward and trying to bring it into the new era, and it hasn't. That's like now with the GP, they got their own numbers. But where does 178 come from, or 296? Well, what's all that about? Everyone knows like 884 in the motocross world, or 88, or 101 and stuff like that. But why try and bring it into Speedway? What does 102 make in Speedway? What's all that about? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no idea on that one.
It's not NASCAR, is it? Do you know what I mean?
What about superstitions then? Did you have any weird ones?
No, I ain't got any.
That's a good thing, isn't it? If you've seen some of the guys got some mental ones. Literally as well.
Oh, mate, thank you ever so much for that. Appreciate that, buddy.
I always used to like the cartoon ones. I've even got a cool one of my dad as well. Look, this is one of them. Because this is not his Swindon one, but I'll show you as well. I've got it on a mouse mat as well. My dad riding for Milton Keynes Knights at the time. I think it was 79. Rode with Andy Graham and that. Yeah, I used to like those stickers when they had the cartoon ones and stuff. Quite different. Who would you say, if I had to put you on the spot then, what would you say has been your favourite part of your career team-wise? What was your favourite time? What team was that in?
There's been too many enjoyable ones, but Hull was lovely, was steady, and all that lot. Arena Essex was lovely with Lanham and Troy and stuff. Isle of Wight was lovely with Brett Woodyfield, Nigel Sadler, Jason Bunyan, etc. Hull was lovely, but for the learning curve, I'd say it was Coventry.
Yeah, Coventry.
Just with being, mate, I was there around 3/4 world champions in the same team.
Very cool.
But it wasn't necessarily the most enjoyable. it was the most learning curve. Some of the enjoyable ones were, you know, Isle of Wight springs out like fun times. Me and Brett Woodyfield just got a 5-1 in Heat 15. And we've just done a lap of honour. We're in the changing rooms. Boys have had a crack, you know, got a crack of beers and what have you. Me and Brett Woodyfield are having a shower. Nigel Sadler finds it funny to come in and start weighing on me legs, saying, "Is the shower warm?"
I've had a few football ones like that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, classic. What's the best crowd that you've raced in front of, like atmosphere-wise, should I say?
Newcastle, when I was riding for Mildenhall.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the promoter of Mildenhall convinced me to be a frontliner in a Dayton site.
Okay.
And he called it 69octane.com. So, and again, the ex-Mildenhall promoter only passed away last week, but I stood there in parade at Newcastle, and that was Newcastle on the Thursday, I think, Edinburgh Friday, Berwick Saturday, somewhere else on the Sunday, and here we have number 4, Shaun Tacey, blah blah blah. Tacey is a pervert. Tacey is a pervert. That was the Mildenhall fans doing that, but that was Simon Barton and that who started that off, and that was like, what? And the referee had to stop everything, just like let it happen till they'd done their own football chants. And then, as soon as I got back to the pits, referee said, "What was all that about?" Oh, that's my promoter, and that's the fans, mate. It's like, really?
What's yeah, he does. Ethan's just put, did he ever race Sal Clout in?
Yes. Oh, no, don't put any pictures up of that.
I've got no pictures of that.
All videos.
No, all videos. So did you have any good relationships? Did you have any mechanics that you got on with over the years? Do you have any mechanics and good relationships with mechanics?
I've done most of it myself, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
I had the odd one or two. Yeah, I had a couple of mechanics. I had Craig Bickers. He, a good friend of mine. But a lot of the time, I've done most of it myself, to be fair.
It made sense.
Took on I've done too much, you know, which is get to the point you burn yourself out, you know. And that's all right for people to say, yeah, do this, do that, but you need money to pay for that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Do you prefer to be part of a team, or did you like the individual racing as well? Or did you just like both?
Both, but in my earlier days, it seemed like there was more of a team thing. But the more it went on, it seemed like it was becoming more and more individual. Because what people don't understand, you know, you're not paid a wage. You're only paid on performance. So whatever you did was up to you. So, you know, you can help out. I always said I was a good team player. I always thought I was a good team player and help out someone as much as I could. But you only got out what you put in, sort of thing, you know.
Was there any riders over the years you always seemed to come together with, or there was always that person?
No, not really. No, no. What you mean against or
or even with?
Sorry,
or even with?
no, not really. No. I just found I met some good friends and had some good laughs and always loved the rivalry with someone who I thought was better than me or they thought they were better than me or whatever, and having banter like that and thinking, yeah, I'll kick his backside tonight, and then I'm thinking, well, if I do him, I'm going to go home a happy chap, even if I only scored 3 points. So, you know.
Well, I got to ask you about Swindon, because obviously grew up there, dad and uncle rode there. What did you think of the Swindon track?
Good and bad memories, to be honest, mate. The first time I ever went there, Ipswich said I was in the main team that night, and we got a complete grass track bike off Will James. Big God, and all that done is broke your bloody just give you a bruise on your knee because the size of the engine at the top, and we stuck it in my speedway bike, took it there. Right, you're in the main team tonight. Got there, John Louis said, no, we'll put Darren Fitch in or someone else. Well, we got here early. No, you're in the second half. Got in the second half and only 3 races. I've done 9 points, three wins. And but then I had a grass track the next weekend. So I had to take it out, put it in my grass track bike, and then we're at Kings Lynn. So, but yeah, my sponsor or my dad, or I don't know, had a little bit of fallout. But so because we were told to get down there early because we were in the main meeting, and I'd never seen the place. But again, Swindon, that they used to make the place nice when I started as a kid, but then as I got older and kept going, instead of ripping half the outside, they're ripping it right the way down to the white line. And that's like, well, why are you ripping it from the fence to the white line and making it all exactly the same? Why are you doing that? And I just couldn't understand the track staff, what they were doing. And so leave the first half slick, outside deep, the boys who have got the balls to go around the outside, because the dirt is automatically going to chase up to the outside anyway. I'd never understood that. And the difference, like riding in Sweden and Denmark, the material is so different. It's more like sand. And you think, oh, a Bosch just took off. And some of my friends come over here and like looked at some hard tracks when they see the tractor marks in it and seeing grooves like that deep. They're like, this is Speedway, not motocross. What are they doing? And like, yeah, they couldn't understand it.
Who's been your closest friends over the years in the Speedway world then? Who's been your closest friend?
Dave Norris is a good boy, but I'm talking going back from, and that's dragged on from a long time ago, you know. Most knowledgeable, Ricardson. We were paired up at Ipswich one night in a team event, and I was really struggling. And he said to me, go back to basics. If you're struggling and you get your mind mixed up so much, go back to basics. And that night I thought, right, I'm paired up with Ricardson. And I looked at the other pairs, I thought, oh, mate, as long as I do something, the rest of them ain't got a chance. I think poor old Tony was like practicing for a Grand Prix or something, trying out different things. He scored 3 points, and I scored about 8, and I think we finished about 6th. Whereas if we'd have been both on a game, we could have like walked it,
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, mate. You ask me stuff like that. There's too many to mention because there's so many nice lads, and it's so wrong to rule people out, and it's so wrong to put people in because there's just too many to mention.
Was there any clubs that you nearly signed for and wish you had have signed for? Anyone like that?
Rye House.
Oh, you like that, did you?
Again, no, not a track I'd have liked.
Yeah.
But Len rung me up one year and he said, "Shaun, come and ride for us." I said, and that was when me testament. I said, "I need me testimonial, mate." And he said, "I can't do it this year." He said, "I'll do it next year." He said, "But you'll get a free ski holdy and this and that." I was like, "Nah." And so no, I didn't happen. But Roy House is like a King's Lynn in the sense that once you get a bike set up and you get your mind set up for it, you're tracked in. Roy House being a lot easier than a mindset for King's Lynn, obviously, but yeah. So no, and Len did say he wouldn't just hire me, he'd buy me, but then a couple of years later, Roy House shut, didn't it?
I was just about to say that's another bloody one lost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roy House, they went in the top league right at the end, and then that went as well. Who's been the biggest influence on your career?
Myself. No, myself, because my stepmom and dad took me to Ipswich when I was about 4 years old, and the first meeting I watched was a 16-lapper.
Oh, was it? Wow.
And they took me to Kentucky afterwards, and I stood there in the queue, and my dad let Simon Cross come past us in front, and I looked at him, and I was probably, my hero, blah, 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 because he just probably finished second or third in the 16-lapper. Yeah. And we had our KFC, and then going down Valley Road in Ipswich, that's all lit up, where the crematorium and that is. Me dad and stepmom said, "Look over there." I was like, "Yeah." And they say, "You see all those gravestones?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "They're all the Speedway riders been killed at Ipswich." I was like, "Oh, right. Do you still want to do it?" I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And I was like 5, 6 years old then. No, I was 4 or 5 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, not being thingy when I say that. Who's been your big influence? Because I take everything on myself, and I do everything like that. I always have done. So yeah. I will be sounding that one for myself, to be honest with you, mate.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. What about any regrets in your career at all? Was there any moves you made? Was there any teams or clubs that you thought, in hindsight, maybe should have done something else, or didn't regret any of them?
No, not really. No. Every change is good for the rest. So, no.
Did you have any favourite start gates? Was there any gates that you used to like doing that?
Gate 4. Gate 4. Always love Gate 4.
Did you like that?
Yeah, always love Gate 4.
Did you?
Always. That's where I got the track record round Mildenhall from. And Paul Lee, as soon as I'd done it, I messaged, because Paul Lee, the Mildenhall boy, bless him, he had that track record for about 12 years. And as soon as I'd done it, I messaged Dean Brundle, James Brundle's dad, and so I've just got James Brundle's Paul Lee's track record, and yeah, I I only held it for about 2 years because I think then they had the Elite League match there, and Rory Sline and a few others and that were there, and so yeah, I had it for a little while.
That's brilliant. Right, I've got a difficult one for you now.
Oh, here we go then.
From all the teams and the riders that you've raced with in your career, could you name me your favourite 1 to 7 from all the riders you've ever raced with? And you're the team manager.
Sure. Hell, man.
Told you it was a problem.
Are we talking on performance? Are we talking on fun value?
That could be a different team, couldn't it?
I'll mix it up a bit. Go on then. I'll do. I'll start with professional Hans Nielsen.
Yeah.
I'll go Hans Nielsen 1.
Yeah.
Hans Anderson number 2, because I love the old boy to bits, and I think he's a good number 2 rider these days. In you know.
Yeah.
Greg and Billy.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Good.
Darcy Ward for number 5, because he loves eating chips before heat 15.
Did he actually do that?
He used to.
Jesus.
He used to eat sausage and chips before heat 15.
Jesus.
So that leaves 2, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I got to go with me bros who I had the most fun with. Brett Woodyfield, Nigel Sadler. The Aussies.
Yeah, the Aussies. Nice. You got on well with them guys then?
Well, you know when you come to Arena Essex and you take the last turn off to go to you have to take that turn off before, otherwise you go over the bridge, don't you?
Yep, I have done that.
I sat behind Nigel Sadler one Good Friday,
Yeah.
and I sat behind him, and he was waiting for the traffic, and he couldn't get out because. So I put my bumper up to his, and I started pushing him out to the roundabout. And I'm like, beep, beep, beep. I'm pushing him because it was pushing him into the road. And he was like waving at his hand and like, whoa, what's going on? No, we had a giggle, mate. We had a giggle. You couldn't get away with it these days, mate.
No, you couldn't.
That's I'm going back like 30, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Now there's cameras everywhere. There's a couple of times I pushed people coming out of Vauxhall Stadium. I sat behind them with my back of my van and pushed them out into the middle of the road because I wanted to get out. Well, people coming up that road, you can't do it now, can you? What are you laughing at? There was one night. Left Vauxhall Stadium, and there was a Sky Sports meeting. Steve Brandon and Susie and that were there, and we went to the golf and had a few jars and that in there, and loads of people said, "Oh, let's go to Tacey's for a party." I said, "Yeah, pile in the back of my van." I only had this little Fiat Scudo thing then, tiny little thing like a bloody caddy type thing, you know. Come down near KFC roundabout there. Greg, Billy, and all that sat there. Colin Pratt sat there in the vans. Come round the roundabout. I'm like, giving it all a big one on the horn. Everyone waving out the windows. Copper sat right beside him, didn't they? I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Come up the road, blues and twos, come on, pulled me round the corner. I thought, oh, here we go. But I think I had that much, whatever, aftershave, or I don't know. But anyway, I got let off and everyone come back to mine for a party and everyone left there about 6 o'clock in the morning.
You actually still follow the Speedway now at all? Like, as in, like, do you watch the GPs on telly? Any of the
No,
league racing? You don't?
not at all, to be honest, mate.
No.
No. I watch the I watch the ones occasionally, which I can get and what have you, and I like watch the motocross and what have you. I do look at the results on Google and what have you when I see. I like Doyley's wave of lap of honour yesterday.
Oh,
Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you see Jason Doyle's wave yesterday? That's the one. That's the one. Fans were booing him, so like, and I've been riding with Doyley because he's been up at Besthorpe Motocross track for the last few months, with training because he only lives up near Norwich, literally 20 minutes away from me. And the first time I saw him, I thought, "That's Jason Doyle. What are you doing here?" And I saw him. He said, "Don't tell Chris Louis." He said, "Oh, I'm just up here getting race fit, getting race fit." But he's all right on a motocross bike. He's quite handy, to be fair.
Is he?
Yeah. And he's kicking ass. He's whipping up everywhere at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, he's flying, isn't he?
Yeah.
Think about you and all that. I see there he's flying straight away. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the GPs this year then.
Yeah.
I can see that's been frustrating him over the last couple of years, I've noticed. Right, I'll ask you a couple more then before we let you go off, you lovely lady.
About an hour past my bedtime, big boy, now.
I do appreciate your time, though.
You all right, bud?
I do, mate. I enjoyed it as well. Really cool. You are cool.
I've made you laugh and cry.
Yeah. In one night, yeah, you've played with me all night. If you could give good advice to any youngster out there who wants to be a pro speedway rider, what would you say to them, boys?
Just be true to yourself.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one at the minute because the problem is no, I'm not going to say that. They have to get involved with a club, like a grass track club, if they can't get involved with Speedway. Because Lee, not being rude, is so disappointing. Like when like the likes of me, Sal, Ben Howe, and what have you were doing it, there was the Mildenhall little track, the Eastbourne little track, and we used to have so much fun. Edward Kennett cut his gear on that little Eastbourne track, but that's all gone. That's all gone, and even like in Sweden at the minute, you know, they have indoor, like inside tracks, inside the big ones, but a lot of the big tracks are gone in Sweden, and it's becoming so much harder for the youngsters to do it, and but we need it. Europe needs it. We need it. So what you've asked me is really difficult because it's how can you go and have a 125 or a 65cc on a full size big track? You're not going to learn anything. You need the turner circles and stuff. It's getting harder and harder all the time, and they wonder, you know, like I said to you earlier on, back in the British final, 16 riders plus the 2 reserves. There was 10 of them. Which one's going to win it? You wouldn't know where to put your money on. Now you can put your money on 2. And I don't want to. I don't want to be despondent about it. Far from it, because I'm all for it. I that was my, that was my career. That was what I dreamed of doing for 29 years, and that's what I did with the grass track and the speedway combined, and then running the training schools to try and get people into it. But where do you go now?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Like you said, if you ain't got your training tracks and stuff like that, where are they going?
Even now, mate, because of the way things are going, like I do my motocross and like play at that, but you know as well as I do. Someone will shut down a motocross track because there's a new family moved in and complain about the noise. Well, don't move there then. And that's only once a week for like 5-6 hours. Do you know what I mean? It's what is the world coming to?
I was actually going to ask you about that. Do you think that's why they're all trying to go down like the electric route? Obviously, they're doing that now with the old motocross bike electric route. I see they've got, is it e-bikes or something? I've seen they're trying on the old speedway as well. Yeah,
but that will happen. That will come to that. And in my son's era, that probably won't happen. In his daughter or son's era, that will happen. Everything will be like that. But then, don't know. It's all like in Dubai at the moment, isn't it? With the E Formula One and stuff. It's been like that over there for about 10 years now. And it is boring as hell to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad I'll be well gone when they're doing that all properly, because I don't.
Yeah.
No. That's a good point as well, what Shannon Holloway's just said. No second halves either, makes it harder for anyone to make their way in the sport. That used to be a thing as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. Mate, I don't even know who she is, but she's bang on saying that. Absolutely bang on.
I don't know if you remember Malcolm Holloway back in the day.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah, that's the same family. So,
is it his daughter?
No.
Who doesn't remember Malcolm Holloway?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, she's bang on there, wasn't it? They used to do that, like even all through my dad's days, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, but everywhere where the main track went, that's what I said to you about Cradley Heath earlier on. Everywhere we went as Ipswich, the second half team went, and you got involved because you were watching the main team. So you actually learn how to learn about the publicity and all of the crowd reaction and everything. So when you got presented out after the meeting had finished, you watched all what was happening, so you knew what to do, you knew what to expect, and you knew how it was going to be. And Bradford one night, I walked down the hill to go and get changed, and I see this bloke sitting on this Harley Davidson, and that was Alan Turner from Emmerdale. And I looked at him and I said, "All right, boy." And he said, "You right?" He said, "Who are you?" I said, "Sean." I said, "Hello, Alan." He said, "That's not my real name." I said, "I know, but I like you."
That's wicked.
Bless him.
I love that. That's how we do it. That's what we would do as well, Anita. That's not my real name. Well, it is, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sean, absolute ledge.
Cheers, Bar.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate your time, buddy. Thank you very much to your lady, Paula, as well. Appreciate her setting this up earlier on for us.
Welcome.
Much appreciated.
You can come and stay.
Yeah, lovely couple. Is there any cheese sandwiches there? Just plain cheese sandwiches, and we'll be all good to go.
Always.
Just finished the curry.
I'm bored
Look
as
at,
hell.
look at our post, mate. You ain't got to worry about food when you come here, but.
Brilliant. Yeah, we're definitely, like I said, I'm definitely making my way over there a few times this year. So a couple of motocrosses, and like I said, I'm going to come up and do the Ipswich Speedway as well. So hopefully even get a little Speedway reunion going.
All right, mate.
Yes, that'd be cool if we can do that for sure. So this is this still a chance for this vets thing, or I just
No
obviously
chance.
is that the only chance?
No chance. No chance. No. No chance. No.
She's
No.
giving it the thumb up.
Yeah, no. No chance.
Oh, brilliant.
No.
Maybe watch. You might come and watch, maybe.
Yeah. Might do that.
Yeah. It's easier that way.
Yeah.
Doing that. Oh, it's getting a bit rough out there now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm on about. All right, top man, sure. Appreciate it, mate. Much love to you.
All right,
Yeah, we'll start sharing this out there tomorrow, and all that, and get it out there for all the Speedway fans. Get it all in the Speedway groups on Facebook. Put it all in the 10 commentary fan groups that are out there. Beautiful. all the teams. I'll get it out there anyway. So I really appreciate your time, you guys. Sorry for keeping you up late.
Cheers, bud.
Much love to you guys. Thank you.
All right, mate.
You're welcome.
You too, soon, all right?
All
Keep in
right,
touch,
mate.
buddy.
Bye,
Cheers,
bye.
mate. What a ledge. Beautiful. Woohoo. Love it. Mr. Tacey. Good night. Where did we get a t-shirt, Sean? Oh, you're on about the Shaun Tacey t-shirts. I did have a flipping picture to put that up tonight as well. Hang on, let me just check. Sure, I had it on my original pictures I was supposed to put up. It's Mr. Simpson, Chris Simpson, he's the one who does them. He definitely had, there we are, I found it. Here we go. There you go, look. That's the t-shirts. And he did come up in here earlier on, right at the start sometime. I'm just even going to go back and try and check for you. There you go. There he is. That's the man you need to speak to. Chris Simpson. He does the t-shirts. And he was also saying that he's chuffed that he bumped into someone on with one of his t-shirts on a building site. Brilliant. I remember Jake Nichols wearing one as well. So yeah, Chris Simpson is the man to sort out with the t-shirts. I did have a Swindon Robbins one off of him that, bless her, I've now given to my daughter because she said she wanted the smell of me on it. So no problem. So yeah, I had a big red one with a big old school retro Swindon Robbins badge on it, and it was cool. Yeah, definitely get one. Colin Richardson starts with the stadiums need to put running normalize sport and rates, make it TV friendly, and then push the kids track to the sports counts. Yes, Colin, like you can see, like the levels of like Poland, isn't it? The stadiums really all purpose built for speedway. They can practice when they like, etc., etc. Obviously, makes a massive difference. A lot of the stadiums in this country have always been sort of dictated to by greyhounds or whatever's running the stadium. Particularly, it's been nice to see a couple of the tracks come back. Obviously, especially Oxford. I'm going to go there next week actually for the rearranged, postponed one between the challenge match with Swindon. That I think Doyley is going to ride for Swindon, Adam Ellis, a few riders like that. So it'd be good to get down there next week. That's the last time I've actually been to Speedway. Was last year. Was the opening of Oxford Stadium. I mean, they've done a cracking job. It's all like new pits on the back straight, not under the old archway anymore. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. Thanks, Debbie. Hope you enjoyed seeing your brother on tonight. But yeah, so yeah, I'm on again tomorrow night with British motocross legend Rob Andrews. Just finished reading his book before the interview as well, and he's going to be riding at our Legends as well. This our reunion at the end of this month. Motocross and Speedway Memories reunion 3. We're on a third one. Holy shit! So yeah, that's been mad. You talked about Paulie earlier. He rode in the first reunion as well on my Legends, and Robbie Kessler, a few of the Speedway guys. Ronnie Corrie was there watching, and then the last reunion I had Chris Louis come and ride. That was really cool. Bit surreal. He was up in the commentary box with me, and I was like, I'm hanging out with Chris Louis. Oh, fanboy for life. And yeah, Barney Kennett coming there. That was really cool. Andy Graham is rode in all of the reunions, and he's coming back again for reunion 3 at the end of this month. So it'd be great to see the Graham family. 1982 British champion himself, Mr. Andy Graham. Yeah, he rode with my dad as well, so we've got a bit of history on that side. He rode with Dad at Milton Keynes, so that's cool as well. But yeah, I'm going to get off and get some tea. Had a great night with Mr. Tacey, but I always leave you with this. There's the old man, bless him. He's Ashby Levers and back in the day of the Swin and Robbins. But I always leave all my interviews with this quote. And that was, bless him, before he died, he always used to say this to me. He'd say to me, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. So we'll leave it on that. Good night. Thanks for everyone coming on. Much appreciated. See you all soon. I have spoke to Graham Jones, the ex-Wolverhampton man. And I know he's been a long-time mechanic for all the top guys as well. So hopefully going to have a good chat with Graham Jones next week. Should be a cool one. I think that'd be fun as well. But I'll keep you updated on all my stuff. Like I said, Motocross and Speedway Memories, Facebook group, just got to 11,000 as well. So beautiful. And got a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube channel, Motocross and Speedway Memories. You can subscribe for free there. Catch up with all the interviews in your own time. There's absolutely hundreds on there, so check them all out. Subscribe would be cool, be appreciated. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on all social medias, what I'm doing next. Like I said, I'm on tomorrow night for a Motocross one. And then I will update you all on what I'm doing. But I have spoke to Graham Jones about doing one for next week. So that's definitely one in the bag by the sounds of it. So thank you very much for everyone coming on, all your questions. Much love. And see you all soon. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.